everyone, so I wanted to do a more in-depth or semi-in-depth review of the bq2500 that's behind me. I do want to say that it is massive. It goes all the way back here with the table on it. I took today off of work so that way I can get to kind of know the machine a little bit more. The only sewing that I had really done on it prior to today was binding for a quilt that I finished and some test strips, but I don't see the test strips. I thought I had them here, but I don't see them. But today I did do this quilt top, and this is Picture Perfect by Quick and Easy 3-yard quilts by Donna Robertson. It's this quilt right here. I tried to film me actually making it, but I kept hitting the camera. That was on me. So the video quality is not the greatest because it is all over the place. But it came together very well. I did not adjust any tension. I did not adjust any type of stitch length. I will say that the stitch length probably does need to be shortened a little bit. I have it right now. It's at 2.5 millimeters, so I'll probably bump that down to 2.0 going forward. But other than that, the tension was fine, everything else was fine, and I did do the entire quilt with a 2.5, so it can be done. It was just I'm noticing now some areas that I don't want to say that they're not sewn together because they are, but some areas that the stitching just could be tighter. Let's see, what else is there to say about the machine other than the fact that it is fantastic. I love this machine. I am going from a Singer patchwork, so I could be a little bit like shiny new toy syndrome with it, because this can do way more than my patchwork could ever do. In fact, one of the things I did today also, using the dual feed Move It foot, which is this really cool foot that actually has a conveyor belt on it, and the conveyor belt moves. Using that, I was able to bind this gigantic quilt, which is 80 by 80 roughly. I'm not even going to try to get all in frame because it's not going to happen, but I was able to bind it. I did not time myself. I should have, but I can say confidently that it was the fastest binding I have ever done, and it's because of this foot. Without that foot, the machine itself could handle the binding, I know that, but it was that foot that made it so fast. I did try to do some quilting, not free motion quilting, but it does actually have some quilting designs in here, like a meander and just some other things, and I just need more practice with it. It started out fine, and then I'm picking it out, which is why there's that hole there, that gap there. It started out fine, and then it kind of became a mess, but I do believe that that has everything to do with me and not with the machine. Like I said, I'm still learning how to do it, and I did do some test swatches yesterday, and they came out fine. So I think it was just the heaviness of the blanket not being fully supported, possibly, as part of the reason why. But I'm not gonna quilt this today. I know that it can do straight line quilting without a problem. I just really didn't want this quilt to be straight line quilted. I wanted it to have some texture to it, or some movement to it. And I am nowhere near quilting free motion quilting standards. I haven't even tried that. So I talked about the stitch length could be shorter than the preset. The tension was perfect. I did do a quick video today on how the thread, automatic thread, automatic threader and the thread cutter worked, and in that video I touched briefly on it cuts the threads really short, which is good, but then whenever you go to the next to sew again, one of two things happens, unless if you pull the threads out. You either end up with a bird's nest like this, or you end up with the needle coming unthread. Now, it doesn't happen. The needle coming unthread does not happen every single time. The bird's nest happen the vast majority of the time, unless if you sit there and pull both the bobbin and the thread, the needle thread out, and then hang on to the tails. Which the bird's nest, that's a common thing. A lot of people, a lot of beginners don't know, myself included when I first started, that if you are quilting, and unless if you hold on to those two threads when you start to piece, you can get that bird's nest. So that isn't that big of a deal. It's just that it's a little bit of a workaround, because you have to drop the needle, then pick the needle back up, kind of like as if you were free motion quilting, and then the thread to grab is so tiny. I ordered tweezers so that way I can put them here in my little caddy to have right by my sewing machine so I can grab them. Let's see what else. The thread coming out of the needle, that I am not the biggest fan of. I think that it should cut with enough of a tail that it doesn't do that. But again, just be mindful. It doesn't take that long to rethread it. Most of the time you don't even have to rethread all of it. You just rethread like steps 5 through 7, and then you're good to go. I did in the test swatch yesterday. Here is a test swatch. So I was messing with the different, so this is what the meander is supposed to look like. This is a smaller size and a larger size. I did test out the letters, and I was impressed with the fact that how it was able to do them. I haven't tried doing anything too intricate. I just did the simple, like high, I think was what I did. And I really don't see that testing. I must have left it downstairs. I swear I brought it back up here though. Anyways, I personally have not had anything bad with this machine other than the thread coming out of the needle. I don't know. I tried looking for other reviews on the bq2500 before I bought the machine, and there really are not any on there on YouTube. So I don't know if people have run into problems. I know a lot of the feedback that I've been getting on Facebook is that people love this machine, or one of the other machines in the Quilters Club series that they absolutely love. I will say getting this entire thing underneath here, huge improvement to my old machine. I was struggling with my old machine to do the Valentine's Day quilt that I did, that I have hanging up downstairs. I don't think I showed a picture. It's on Instagram. Most of my quilts, if you want to see pictures of my quilts, go to my Instagram, because I post all my pictures of the finished ones there, unless if they're a gift. If they're a gift, then I wait till after they've been given, then I post the picture. But anyways, like, this entire thing can fit in there without a problem, and that's all of it. Like, and that's not even neatly folded or wrapped up or anything. It's just all scrunched up, and it fits in there without a problem. I want to say it's 11.3 inches. I don't remember how high it is, but you can see I can fit my hand and spread my fingers some. You'd think I would have a tape measure right next to me. I do. I just have to get out of my sewing box. So, the span of it is like 5.5 inches. And then from needle to here is the 11.5 inches. So, very, very spacious. Throat space. Trying to think of what else I see in videos that review sewing machines, because I mean, I did not test how much fabric it can go through, but again, it did the binding on this, which is hell of impressive, because you had areas like right here where, that's just a thread from the quilting that I need to cut, but you have areas right here where the seam is, where it's going through 1, 2, 3, 4, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 10 layers of fabric plus the batting plus the backing. That's a lot of fabric for it to go through. And while I did have a little bit of trouble going over those particular spots, it was still able to do it. Going over like the minor corners, not a problem at all. Going over the rest of the quilt, not a problem at all. And I can't do math in my head, because you have the 2, then you fold it, which makes it 4, then you fold it over again, which makes it 6. So 6 layers of fabric, then you have the quilt top, so that's 7. And then you have the batting and the backing. And then on a minor corner, you fold it again. I want to say each side. Well, you don't really go through it because you kind of go off the corner. But still, it's a lot of fabric, and that was me trying to do math in my head while I'm not feeling very well. and it's not very, very pretty. Okay, if you have any questions, or if there's anything particular you want to see on the machine, leave them down in the comment section below. I will try to get to them and answer them as soon as I can. I do have a regular job that takes up 40 hours of my week, and I am also learning this machine with you. So if I don't get back to your question right away, I promise you I will try to get to it, or at least give you a response of, I have no idea. I need to figure that out. I need to go to my local All Brands store and take that question to them and be like, hey, how do I do this? Because I don't know how to do this and I want to know. Which is where I bought this machine from, was All Brands here in San Antonio. Great customer service. The manager is amazing. The sales lady is amazing. Everybody there was just super helpful. Told me if I ever had any questions at all to come back to them and they would help me troubleshoot or figure it out. So yeah. Oh, speed. I want to talk about speed real quick. This thing can go so fast. And what I like is that in some pedals, once you go, it goes at that speed. You don't really have that much control within the foot pedal. This one does. So if you lift up, it's like a car. If you lift up, you lose power a little bit and it doesn't go as fast. And if you floor it, and it goes great, which I think is really cool because, like I said, not all machines do that. Plus, it gives you more control over how fast you're going. Even though I have this sped way up, I can choose to go slower versus going 1,000 miles per hour. And I don't know how fast this machine actually goes. I'm sure it's in the manual, which I did actually read. My husband was like, I don't think I've ever seen you read a manual before. I'm like, no, I'll read directions to put stuff together, but I usually don't read manuals. But I did because I did not want to break this. So yeah, speed wise, this thing is amazing. I think that that's it. I can't think of anything else that I would want to say, and this is just like my initial review. I will give a more in-depth review later on, or I'll also do additional videos of like the menu some of the other menu functions, things of that nature, as I happen to come across them. I did do a small clip of me using this on the binding, so I will go ahead and I will insert that clip at the end of the video. So it will immediately follow this, but I'm not going to be back on, so I'll go ahead and I'll say bye now. So thanks for watching. Enjoy the next clip, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.